So today our project is going to be fencing in our fruit trees some. We have had a lot of deer visitors. You can see their tracks. They're in the snow. And what they've been up to is turning our poor little fruit trees into their dinner. You can see they're very chewed on. And they did this last year as well. So we should have gotten fences around these sooner. But they looked a lot worse last year when we finally got them protected. And so we'll be putting up some hot wire around these, and hopefully that will keep the deer from doing any more damage to them. We have the existing horse fence right over there. So what we're going to do is just run a hot wire off of that over to these T-posts, and we'll run a little fence all the way around it. At the moment, the ground isn't too frozen, so that's allowing us to get these T-posts in. And for those of you not familiar with doing fencing, what Ryan has there is called the T-post pounder. It's basically about a 20-pound metal tube with handles on it. And it's used just like that to put the T-posts into the ground. It's a pretty good workout. If you do more than a few posts, you'll get pretty miserably sore. They do have electric versions that you can use, but we just have this one. It's not something that we've invested in, and unfortunately T-posts can be pretty hard to put in the ground here because we hit rock very quickly, and a automated T-post pounder doesn't really help with that once you hit actual ledge.
Alright, well, Sue is going to go get some insulators and some wire. And we'll grab the video camera and we'll watch her put up some wire here and see if we can get this taken care of. Hold on while we get our stuff, we'll be right back. So as Sue mentioned, those are the trees right there that we're trying to keep an eye on. Once they get big enough, the deer, really can't get up into them enough to hurt them, but when they're that little, they don't really kill the tree so much, but they prune all the branches off in it, and the poor tree spends all year trying to just get back where it was. So we'll see if we can't make this work. If this doesn't work, we'll put some cages around it using some hog panels or welded wire or something. And here's Sue with some insulators, so we're gonna see what she has planned here.
So these are just your basic T-post clip-on insulators. We're going to put these on all of these T-posts. I think we're going to try just running a single strand. Anything we do as far as height, the deer can go right over. So we're sort of counting on them just walking into this and getting enough of a jolt that they decide it's a bad idea to come up here again. So that's the current plan. If we have to, we'll spread these out more and we'll do a high wire and a low wire, or we'll wrap them in either chicken wire or cattle panels. But for now, we're going to see if one string of basically chest level hot wire will keep them from eating the trees. Anyone who has experience with these knows they're kind of a pain to get on, but they do stay on pretty well once they're on there.
And we did not drive the T-post real deep in the ground because we plan on taking this out in the spring. That's why you see it moving around so much on it.
And you're supposed to get this little tab over the back here. Sometimes that's possible, sometimes it's really difficult. It's very cold out right now, so it's a lot harder. At the moment, we're going to ignore the fact that it's not on there and just leave it because this fence shouldn't be under much pressure. So it should stay on fine just like that.
Alright, so I'm going to run the wire here. Just wrapping around the T-post for now. We'll come back and make a connection to that when we're done. I'm not sure how this is going to work, but I got a couple ideas. And basically, rather than building a circle around each tree, I'm building one big cage in hopes that, you know, it's a little easier. For me, that is. And we'll see if we get enough wire. And this is actually a very small gauge fence wire. Not something you'd normally use for like your fencing for a pasture, but it works great for this. I'm actually going to come back around this one just because we can. Now back down at the fence, all I'm going to do is wrap it around the hot tape several times. I'm not going to worry too much about it because it is temporary, and we'll see how it works. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Stu will turn the fence on in a minute and we'll make sure everything's good to go.
All right, so we're gonna use this to check and see if it works. That way I should only get a little shock. Yeah, that's it's got a good bite to it, so hopefully that's going to keep our trees safe and the deer will find something that's a little bit easier to eat that is less painful. So thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe.